one of the ways to overcome failure is to think about consciously and play out what is the consequence to not acting. So let's play the example of starting a business. So you're not happy at work, situation that I was in. You're not happy at work. You want to start a business, but you're scared. You're nervous. You're making good money, and you got a family you're supporting, and you're scared. What if the business doesn't work out? What if I sign this agreement? What if I buy the wrong thing? What if I take out a loan, it doesn't work? What if I lose money? What if all these things, right? What if all those things? And so when you're focused on the consequence of what can happen when you act, again, we already established that will typically prevent you from acting. But if you start to think of it as, what is the consequence if I do nothing? What is that consequence? Once the pain of doing nothing, or the perceived pain of doing nothing, is higher than the perceived pain of taking the action, then you'll change and then you'll move forward. So if you think about, okay, if I do nothing, then I'm going to continue to be miserable. I'm going to continue to be stressed out. I'm going to continue having my income dictated by someone else. I'm going to stay stuck and stagnant in where I am. And I really don't like where I am right now. And so that feeling and that consequence will then drive you to make the decision and make a change. This is why business is 80% mental, 20% strategy, and 80% mental. I learned this from Tony Robbins. He would say it's 80% psychology. And the more I've learned about business and the more I've started to grow as an entrepreneur, the more I realize this. Because if you know, okay, if I do, business is pretty simple. Generate more sales than your expenses, right? That's the strategy. Figure out a way to make more money than you spend. In theory, it's very simple, broken down. And so you can have different levels of strategy in order to do that. But here's what happens. Here's why success is only 20% strategy. Number one, it is important that you do have the right strategy. There is a more effective strategy and there is a least effective strategy. So, if you just went knocking on doors trying to get customers for your business, like in some businesses, that's part of the strategy, but it's probably a more inefficient strategy as to if you can leverage a marketing spend and then maybe market to the people that are already looking for your service. It's a more efficient strategy. And so, but here's the thing with strategy. You can have the right strategy, but if you're too scared to implement it, or if you're procrastinating on implementing it, or if you timidly implement and dip your toes in the water, you did the right thing, but maybe you did it at the wrong time because you procrastinated, or maybe you don't even do it at all. You know the strategy, the 20% is there, but you never actually take action on it. If you enjoyed this short clip from the podcast, you can check out another short clip right here. Or if you want to watch the full episode of this podcast, you can watch that here. And remember, knowledge is not power. It's applied knowledge that's power. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.